Hi, my name is Meghan Chapman. I'm from Andover Public Schools. I've spent the last 3 years teaching third grade there, and this last year I implemented flexible seating for the entire year. It is one of my biggest passions, and I absolutely love what it does for students and how it really hands your classroom over to them. And I'm really excited to talk to you about it today. Today I want to talk to you about flexible seating, a model that I use in my own classroom and something that really empowers students and allows them to take over the classroom environment and in turn their learning as well. When I was really struggling with a difficult group of students, I came across this article, and it's called Why the 21st Century Classroom May Remind You of Starbucks. When I read it, it really resonated with me that students should be comfortable in the environment where they're learning, and we need to move away from that traditional model because the things that our students are learning, the skills we're wanting them to know and be able to do, as well as the type of jobs that they're going to be going into, those completely look different than what they did in the past. So we're wanting our classrooms to reflect that as well. So this is my classroom today. We've got lots of different seating options. There aren't any desks in my room. I have tables that provide lots of collaboration for students and lots of different seating options that promote movement and flexibility in learning. So today I just want to go over briefly what is flexible seating and how can you start using it in your classroom. To me, there are two main things about flexible seating. The first is that kids are choosing where they work. Giving them that choice really allows them to take ownership of your classroom. The second thing is there are different types of workspaces, and this meets different needs of students. Everybody needs something different. I might have a student who likes to move as they're working. They're going to sit on a wobble chair or maybe a stability ball. Me personally, I don't need to move when I work, and so I'm going to choose something a little bit more comfortable and cozy, maybe the couch. Maybe I'm going to lay out on a yoga mat or something like that. So why flexible seating? There is obviously so much research and support in that it allows kids to move and to not just sit in one position all day. To me, the biggest thing is that it really helps kids with their social emotional health. It gives them self-awareness and self-management. They're constantly thinking, where am I going to learn best? And how can I work next to my friend? Or maybe I shouldn't sit next to my friend so that I can do my work. Gives them social awareness, relationship skills. They are having to resolve conflict in a positive way and remain respectful with their classmates. And again, responsible decision making, setting themselves up for success. There is a video on Edutopia called 5 Keys to Successful Social Emotional Learning. I really encourage you to head over there and check that out. It's a wonderful 6-minute video about this. Again, kids are getting real life social skills for learning. They're discussing their problem solving and they're working through their issues, anything that arises with choosing their seat. They are comfortable and at home and again, brain and body friendly. And finally, the biggest thing, it empowers kids. It is their classroom instead of your classroom. So a few little guidelines. How does this work? How does my classroom run? We first have our guidelines on the left. My first rule, I guess, but requirement for students is that they choose a work spot that allows them to do their third grade best. And that's essentially what I'm asking them to do. I want them to choose a spot in our classroom where they're going to be able to work and learn and collaborate with others. We always talk about how they can use seats appropriately. And if the spot's not working for them, I want them to move. I want them to self-regulate and decide when do I need to get up and find a different spot because this one's not working great for me or there's some sort of issue going on. And finally, I always reserve the right to move anyone at any time. We also discussed when seats are up for grabs, where when a seat no longer belongs to you, where you don't have a right to it. And this was something that we discussed and decided on as a class. I do use an area for my whole group instruction or when I'm giving directions. We always start out at what are my sit spots. A lot of teachers have rugs in their classroom. This is what I used. And again, this is where I do my whole group instruction or my directions, and then we break out and we go work on our different things and our different work spots. If you're starting flexible seating, I really encourage you to think about how you want to get your seating options, what seating options you're really wanting. Are you going to use desks and find a neat way to configure those and use those in an innovative and new way, or are you going to have tables available to you? A lot of times this has to do with your administration and how they might support you with furniture. However, it also might include you getting creative. Also consider how you're going to store student supplies. I used a lot of classroom supplies in my room, and how you're going to keep your room organized and clean. Managing transitions is a big one. Again, that's where the sit spots came in for my directions. Lots of counting down for me. How are you going to introduce this at the beginning of the year? The kids might walk into your room, they've never seen anything like this before, so that is a really big one as well. And then finally, what are you going to do on sub days? I always let the students decide on this. Are they going to be responsible enough to use the flexible seating options, or are they wanting an assigned seat for the day? My final and best advice to you is, if you start flexible seating, and I encourage you to do so, just be a problem solver. If something is not working, change it. And then finally, start small if needed. Grab a few pillows or mats, yoga mats, and bath rugs. I call them learning rugs with my kids, and set those and use them during your workshop time, your centers time.